Stock of the day is Integrated Research, and they had an update. Integrated Research is expecting revenue in the range of $67 to $70 million for full year 23 and underlying earnings to be in between $10 and $13 million. The company experienced a stronger renewals period and achieved growth in its Collaborate and Transact product lines. So let's get some views today from our expert guests on Integrated Research. Andrew, I'll start with you. What's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, if we have a look at how it's traded over the last 3 or 4 years, it certainly hasn't been a happy outcome for IRI shareholders. It traded, as far as I could see, sort of in the $4 and the $5 mark. So to be back in the 40 or 50 cents mark, it's certainly not a great outcome. And in fact, if you look at the returns over the last 5 years, they've lost about 31% per annum. However, it's been a pretty tough market, sort of that whole HR market. And with this looming recession that everyone seems to keep on talking about, we're almost like going to talk ourselves into it. You would think there's going to be more need for HR services, HR, IT, etc. The PE, though, is probably still a little demanding at 14, 15 times, even though we had some pretty good a good update today. The market is forecasting about a 65% increase in earnings over the next 12 months. So if they can achieve that, then the PE of 14 or 15 times is probably not too demanding, but one swallow a summer does not make. I'd probably be holding for the time being on this one.
Fair enough. What about you, Henry?
What about me? It isn't fair. In Integrated Research, it's one of these ones that loves to use buzzwords, isn't it? I was reading what the company describes itself as. They say they create value through our real-time, scalable and extensible hybrid cloud platform with deep domain knowledge to optimize operations of mission-critical systems and improve user experience. They've got all the words in there, haven't they? It's fantastic. They have been sort of Dudley do nothing for some time. They've been pushing along the bottom around 35, 40 cents, and I guess there's a bit of tax loss selling there for June coming into play there. The results due on the 25th of August, but let's face it, today's update is pretty much the results. It's not a bad update when you consider and we might even touch on this later, the Megaport update yesterday, which, to be honest, wasn't really that mega in the big scheme of things. And the stock was up 34% just about and kicking another 4% today. And, when you look at Integrated Research, today's update's not a bad update. Total contract value, they're talking about an 18 to 22% change up between 67 and 69 million. They got cash, 18.6 million. The commentary from the CEO was also positive as well. So given that we've had a bit of a pop today, and I suspect we'll have a little bit of profit taking, but I would imagine that we're going to see some brokers warm to this one. As I say, it hasn't had any announcements. It hasn't had any new information for a long, long time. I think February was the numbers and the last set of real information we had out of the company. So it's good to get a bit of an update. It was a good update. It's obviously kicked. I think it's got potential to go higher as well, but maybe just a bit of consolidation after this move. But they're still talking about cost pressures, but those employee-related costs and travel, and those are part of the thing. But I think, this is definitely a hold. I agree with Andrew. And if it came back to sort of 40 cents again, I think you would be in pretty good space to be accumulating that one.
Yeah, thanks, Henry. I was just having a look in terms of broker sort of calls on this one, and Bell Potter's got a rather brave 65-cent price target on it, which is a lot of upside, but it just seems to have really disappeared off the radar, hasn't it? Unless you're a shareholder. And I guess if you're a shareholder, it kind of, it's that thing, do I hold on to it or buy more or sell? So we've got basically both of you saying a hold at this point in time.
Yeah, and I think when you look at the Bell Potter research, which I did this morning, it is quite out of date. It is old.
Yeah.
So, obviously the world turns, the world changes between that research and now. But this update is certainly new information, good information. The market likes it. We just have seen, you know, a lack of follow through in some of these updates in other stocks. So maybe at 40 cents, it's a better buy.
Indeed. Okay, everyone. That's a double hold to start the day, but